Breaking news just into CNN. Sources.
Oh, CNN. CNN, they couldn't wait to report on this. Yeah, Trump's official, Trump secretary goes down or rush to the hospital. They can't wait to jump on it. They be the first network to jump on it. They can get this right. They can get this headline and this story right, huh? They not gonna spin this, huh? All right, fake news CNN. All right, fake news media. Let's do it.
The State Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem this afternoon has been taken to the hospital. I want to go straight to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez. Priscilla, what are you learning about this?
Phil, we're still trying to gather details. What we know so far is that the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was transported by ambulance on Tuesday to a hospital in Washington, D.C. One source telling our colleague Holmes Libran that she has been conscious at the hospital and has spoken to her security detail. We have also reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for any comment or additional details about what transpired here. So again, so far we know only that she was transported to a D.C. area hospital by ambulance. Today, we are still trying to learn more about her condition, though a source did say that she is conscious and she has spoken to her detail, Phil.
Priscilla Alvarez.
Crazy how this is all unfolding, and we just seen this a couple days ago.
Secretary, I don't know what you insist on exaggerated and embellishing. Sir, hands up, hands up.
Also, I want to talk
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
I also want to talk about specifically how many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted, and how their families have been.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem taken to the hospital by ambulance. Her spokesperson saying she suffered an allergic reaction.
All right, boy, oh boy, oh boy, what's going on, family? I hope everybody that is tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you guys' life, man. It's one love to the human race. Got more breaking news, more updates. Seems like there's something every 5 minutes, every hour, and we're here for it. I told you prayers for this administration, for President Trump. We are rooting for America, and quite frankly, we do not know what to expect next. We do not know what to expect next in the next headline, the next breaking news, the next footage. We just never know what to expect next. Right now, we're living in the most craziest, dark times ever, But Trump official, Trump Secretary Kristi Noem has been rushed to the hospital with an allergic reaction, but she is okay. She is having a full recovery, so we do have updates on that. And again, prayers for Kristi Noem. I know them conspiracy theorists came out. Wait a second, what happened? Did they put something in her drink? Did they spray something in the air? Did they spray some perfume? Did somebody touch her awkwardly? What happened? Were they giving out baked snacks at the press conference? What happened? What happened? What's going? The conspiracy theories come out. That just all of a sudden she just has an allergic reaction. Something doesn't sound right. Something sounds fishy. You know how the conspiracy theories come out, and God dog it, the conspiracy theories be right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes we might take a L here, but most of the time it's a win. So I don't know, y'all, but I'm glad that she is having a full recovery. That's all that matters, But I got to show you the media. You can't. This is why people hate the media, man. This is why people hate the media. Look what they post. Look at this headline: Ice Barbie Kristi Noem rushed to the hospital. How do y'all feel about that? And it says the Daily Mail's headline, and she says, you can't hate the media enough. It is offensive, and this was another one. It It is offensive that a successful woman is mocked in a headline like this, and all the cowardly women who march for women's rights are silent. And again, the headline reads: Trump's ICE Barbie Kristi Noem is rushed to the hospital in D.C. with Secret Service agents by her side. You know, former governor, a congresswoman. You know, and then again, you just can't make this up. But we know how the Trump administration, how President Trump is treated with this media, with the fake news media, with the CNNs, the CBSs, the ABCs, the Alphabet News. You know, so I know it's not as shocking to you guys, and then, you know, and we know about the Daily Mail. You know, nothing new there. You know, how do y'all feel about that headline? And we're still seeing people with Trump derangement syndrome post all kind of crazy captions and headlines. Look, it says she's rushed to the hospital due to lack of cognitive function. Reports say doctors are having a hard time locating her brain. People with Trump derangement syndrome, people need help, man. People need help. We've seen stages we've never seen before in this country. But, you know, just after all this just happened with that California senator who got walked out with his hands behind his back. Look, they made him put his hands, but look, this is beautiful. This is still one of the best clips we've seen this past week. One of the best clips that hit the internet. This is beautiful because a lot of people ought to be walked out and get down on the floor. Get down, get against the wall. Just like this. I say put your hands and put your feet behind your back. Yeah. And y'all carry him out.
Hands behind your back.
Look at that, beautiful. This is beautiful.
Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go and put behind my back.
All right.
Beautiful. This is beautiful.
Lay flat.
Oh, this is good.
Other hand, sir.
Watch that.
Other hand.
Shout out to our law enforcement. Shout out to our law enforcement. This is beautiful. Watch that click.
There's no recording allowed out here. I did not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI regs.
Shut up. Ain't no recording. Ain't no recording. Now, whoever recorded that, I told them they need somebody pay for their lunch, their dinner, their breakfast, or whatever. Somebody give them a tip. Give them cash. He needs some kind of buy him a cold drink, a cold beer, or something. Whoever recorded this footage right here, this is beautiful. It takes courage to record this right here. This is beautiful. Yeah, it takes a great human being to record this California senator being walked out in handcuffs. This is beautiful. And this is recorded off a phone. Yeah, so that means this person behind that camera had to make a decision. That person should be rewarded for making that decision, in my opinion. You know, that is beautiful. That because they showed the footage of him getting dragged out. But we needed this footage right here of them handcuffs being clicked on to him. You know, this is all I wanted. I know he might not have got thrown in the cell and they turned the lights off, but this is really what I wanted right here. I think a lot of people should be made an example just like this, especially in California. California, New York, Chicago. We can go all over the place. Yeah, then just walk people out. Politicians. Term limits and handcuffs. That's what we say. Term limits and handcuffs. No other way around. We can't go another way around. Term limits and handcuffs. And then look, he started crying. Yeah, after the Kristi Noem press conference. You know, they get on here crying, fake acting. These actors are terrible. These actors are terrible, man. Look.
I was forced to the ground. First on my knees, and then flat on my chest.
That is beautiful. And what the officer say? What the officer say? Hands behind your back. It was beautiful. He on here crying. Oh. The people spoke loud and clear. Every single swing state. Majority of America. And a lot of them say the hell with amnesty, the hell with this, even with the sponsors maybe. We don't even care. We don't even want them. Some of the people didn't change their mind about the sponsors. They say a new sheriff is in town and we got to do things the right way. California is a disgrace. It's a dumpster fire. Yeah. And they ought to walk you out, and many others. Y'all done ran everybody out of California. Everybody out of California. And they got to come down here. Texas, everybody that migrated to Texas. Unbelievable. Because y'all running everybody out of these places. Back in the day, I mean, just look how California and all these other places were. Y'all done ran them down to the ground. On fire, dumpster fires. And you on here crying. There's other things to cry about, sir.
And as I was handcuffed.
Yeah, this was good. Let me go back.
And as I was handcuffed and marched down a hallway, repeatedly asking, why am I being detained? Not once did they tell me why.
They don't need to. I don't think they need to.
I pray you never have a moment like this.
No, y'all got to have moments like this.
But
we need handcuffs and term limits. Yeah, down there in Washington, Congress, criminal organization. Yeah, all y'all. We need handcuffs and term limits. People need to be walked out, take their suit off. Take their suit off and put them in handcuffs. Yeah. Send their butt to El Salvador, send their butt to Ukraine, deport them to revoke their citizenships. You know, if they don't want to act right, get them out of here. A lot of y'all need to be made an example out of, sir. Don't come on here with all this crying. There's other things we really need to be crying about. You need to be crying about how terrible they got down there in California. That's what you need to be crying about. I'm serious.
I will tell you, in that moment, a lot of questions came to my mind. First of all, where are they taking me? Because I know I'm not just being escorted out of the building. Am I being arrested here?
These actors are terrible, bro.
What will a city already on edge from being militarized think when they see their United States senator being handcuffed just for trying to ask a question?
Ask a question. Ask a question.
Media is exposing it.
When security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers.
This is the newest fake outrage that they're creating with mainstream media, where they're claiming that Alex Padilla, which is a senator, got thrown to the ground for simply asking a question to Kristi Noem. Gavin Newsom and all the parrots are pushing this out to media, claiming that if they can handcuff a U.S. senator for asking a question, imagine what they'll do to you.
I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question.
They be lying.
And so I began to ask a question. Sir, hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for...
So he claimed that he was peacefully there to ask a question. Here's the funny thing is, CBS News, which is mainstream media, couldn't even cover up the lie.
Carter, you took some video as it was unfolding. Let's talk about how this all played out.
You know, I would say it was a big surprise for everyone. I was actually shooting some video of the DHS secretary while she was speaking. I was going to post it on social media when I heard someone approaching from the right side of the room. And that's when I panned the camera over there. Now, I did not recognize the senator immediately either. This all happened very, very quickly. The DHS secretary did not skip a beat. She just kept looking straight ahead, kept delivering her message as he was dragged out of the room trying to ask his questions. It was only then, after he was being dragged out of the room, that he identified himself as a U.S. senator, and that's when they brought him outside, and as you saw, they put him face down on the ground.
Let me get this straight. You don't identify yourself. You walk up to the front in the middle of her talking. You don't expect that her security team isn't going to take you outside of the room. These people are government officials. They are clearly getting death threats for their jobs. So you think that their security team is just going to let you randomly walk up to the front and expect to know who you are? The CBS News anchor didn't even know who you were. He said it. And he even said everyone in the room was actually shocked by what you did. So quit with your bullshit narrative that you were there peacefully and that citizens are going to get arrested because you got arrested for being a senator asking a question. No, you barged charged up to the front. You didn't respect law, like how you guys all don't respect law on the liberal side. You decided to have an outburst, and they decided to take you out of the room. Oh, and the last thing is like his voice cracking up like he's gonna cry. I just have a quick question, since you want to ask questions. Were you crying over all the people that were being killed by migrants? You know, like that mother of 5 that was just out jogging and was viciously murdered by an illegal? Or how about Jocelyn Nungri, a 12-year-old that was raped, murdered, and thrown aside like she was trash? Or how about the 17 minutes of Laken Riley suffering because she was murdered? Did your voice crack for those people?
Woo! Due process. And then they cried due process. Where was their due process? God bless this woman here. Shout out to this beautiful young lady right here, man. I love seeing people speak, keeping it real, you know, calling it for what it is, speaking common sense. You know, these actors are terrible, and they ought to be handcuffed, just like we just seen in that video. Dragged out, walked out in handcuffs, hands, and I say hands and feet behind your back. I'm gonna carry your butt out of here. Got doggone right, man. Huge shout out to this beautiful young lady right here, and we definitely, you know, are still sending our prayers, but she is doing well. We have an update that she is doing well, recovering from her allergic reaction, and we're glad she's okay, you know. Yes, indeed, man. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything. I love you guys. We got more big things to get into in today's show. We got Supreme Court. We got this. It's a lot of stuff we're getting into, and bringing updates on what's going on with President Trump as well. This administration, you know, in the Middle East, everything. So if you're new here, join the family. Hit that subscribe button, you know, and turn your post notifications on so you don't miss a video. I love y'all. God bless you all, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, you guys.